Welcome to the Chester Ultra 50-mile race brief. Thanks for joining us. My name is Wayne Drinkwater. I'm the GB Ultras race director, and today we're going to cover some of the key points that you need to know for the race itself. Race HQ for Chester Ultra 50 will be at Helsby Hill Sports Village. There's an athletics track towards the back of the complex, and we'll be all set up and ready in one of the buildings beside the track, ready and waiting for you. You're welcome to register either on the Friday prior to the race from 5:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. or alternatively on race day morning from 4:15 a.m. until 5:45 a.m. In terms of the start itself, it will be a mass start, and there will be toilets at the start and finish at the Helsby Hill Sports Village beside the track, and there's also some toilets at Waverton Village Hall as well as at Delamere Forest. It's just to kind of keep you guys all on track. There are route markings along the race itself. So what you'll see is laminated signs, arrow signs saying Chester Ultra. You'll also see occasionally these arrow signs, and then you'll also have approximately every 20-30 yards you'll have biodegradable red tape. Then when you come off the canal, approximately 20 miles in, you'll join the Sandstone Trail. The Sandstone Trail is a really well marked route, and these are the signs that you can expect along the race route there. That takes you all the way to Frodsham, and you'll be joining the North Cheshire Way. The North Cheshire Way then takes you all the way back to Helsby Hill. Again, we'll also have route markings up to help you along the way as well. So that covers route markings. Okay, so moving on to checkpoints that you'll find supporting you during the race itself. Checkpoint 1 is on the Shropshire Canal, and it's 4 miles in, so that is water only. You shouldn't really need much water at that point if you've come with your bottles filled up, but it's really just to make sure that everybody's on track from our side of things. Importantly, the Checkpoint 1 location is actually the point on the canal that you'll rejoin when you're coming to finish the race itself. Checkpoint 2 is at Towers Road in Chester, and that has got more food and refreshments there should you need it. Support teams are more than welcome, along with friends and family, to join you and wish you well during the race itself. But what we would say is please note that there's no parking at that location, so you'll have to give them the details for the local car park, which is in your race instructions. Checkpoint 3 is now at Waverton Village Hall, so it comes off the canal ever so briefly just to make it over to the hall. You'll need to check in at the hall, and there's also toilet facilities there. Then you'll be rejoining the canal, and then your next checkpoint is Checkpoint 4, and that's at Crib Lane. So after leaving the canal, it joins onto the Sandstone Trail, and Crib Lane checkpoint is at 20 miles in, and that's Checkpoint 4. Then you'll be heading towards Delamere Forest. That's your next checkpoint. Checkpoint 5, 27 miles, and there's a toilet that you can use there if needed. Checkpoint 6 is at 34 miles, and that's Frodsham. So that's at the very tail end of the Sandstone Trail, and that's where you'll be heading towards Helsby Hill and the North Cheshire Way. Checkpoint 7 is at Dunham on the Hill, and it's mile 40. Please bear in mind it's no longer the village hall due to COVID concerns with the residents there. And then when you come to the finish at Helsby Hill Sports Village, it's a quick sprint around the track, and you'll have finished the race. Okay, road crossings, please be mindful and careful of any road crossings throughout the race. There is a cut-off in place as well, which is 17 hours. Please also remember that all of the GB Ultras events, you have to carry certain mandatory kits, which Laura's explained on the mandatory kit video, which is separate from this. And please also make sure that along the way, make sure that you ensure that all of your rubbish, all of your litter is nice and tight in your pack at all times. Okay, so race number visibility. Your race number should be attached to your front at all times. When you're going through the checkpoints, we really need to see what race number you are. It needs to be identifiable. So please remember that. We can stop you during the race to ask you to put them on your front. Water hazards throughout the route. Guys, be careful, obviously on the canals, rivers, water courses that we're going to be passing by. Please also remember that sometimes it's quite a narrow trail, so we really recommend single file unless you're overtaken. and also just because there's other trail users on the route as well. So please give way where necessary and act sensibly, just move behind one another if necessary there. Okay, so on the support teams front, you're more than welcome to arrange and plan to have your own support team to support your progress during the race itself. If they wanted to follow your progress, then what they can do is they can use the live tracking, which we'll have sent you the link, and it's also available on our website on the Chester Ultra page. Basically, they'll be able to follow your progress, put a tick beside your name on the leaderboard, and it will present your position on the map itself, and that will give them a really good insight into where you're up to. It's really important that your support team does not obstruct other runners and does not obstruct the event team. Bear in mind that at certain checkpoints there is very limited parking, so if we had 300 people taking part in a race and 300 cars at every single checkpoint, it's just not going to be viable. Okay, there's going to be some parking issues along the way, and we just want to avoid that. So what we've stipulated on the website is certain dedicated support points where your support team can come and meet you along the route. Support runners are not allowed throughout the event. If you seem to be having a support team, sometimes they might be carrying some of your kit. That's not right. That's not equal to other runners. And also, if you're not having to do the navigation or they're pacing you, then it's an unfair advantage. Okay, and that's not within the race rules. So we'd ideally ask you to make sure that nobody is supporting running beside you, unless they're actually in the race itself. Okay, so the mantra kit, this is the bare minimum kit that you have to carry for the race. So we're just going to remind runners that basically if you're not carrying all of the necessary kit that you need for the event, then you might be jeopardizing your own safety or the safety of others. So really, we want everybody to be on an equal playing field, and therefore the same mantra kit is required throughout the race itself. Okay, so if you are seen at random kit checks or at the finish line where we do another kit check potentially, if you're seen to not be carrying the correct kit, then time penalties could be imposed. We don't want to disqualify you, certainly not if you've come so far, during the race itself, you've done 40 or 50 miles. We don't want to disqualify you, but time penalties will be imposed if we deem necessary. When it comes to your mantra kits, this is the bare minimum kit. So if you feel that you want to carry a small first aid kit, if you feel that you want to carry an extra pair of socks, or any special nutrition due to dietary requirements or allergies, would recommend that you carry that with you too. Okay, so please have a look at the mantra kit. Just think of it as the bare minimum kit that you need to carry, and anything additional is up to you. Okay, so diversions on the route. So far, everything looks good to go from our side of things. If there are any diversions on the route itself in the lead up to the race, we'll email you, and we'll also update the social media channels. Please bear in mind that sometimes these things happen and sometimes they're taken out of our hands, and it's required works, essential works that is deemed necessary by the local authority or by the landowner itself. The most current race routes, GPX wise and mapping, is actually on the GB Ultra's website. So if you look under Chester Ultra 50 on the page, halfway down the page, the map, the download GPX is available there. That is the current, most up-to-date version of the race route. Okay, emergency instructions throughout the event. If there is a minor injury, please let your checkpoint, your race marshal or the race HQ know. Only in an emergency where there is a risk to life or limb, please follow these instructions. Number 1, use your foil, an emergency blanket and any spare clothing that you're carrying. Number 2, trigger the SOS button on your race tracker. So the race tracker SOS button is just underneath the logo there. Please gently press it for approximately 3 to 5 seconds and then it will alert Race HQ. Number 3, dial 999 for an ambulance. Number 4, when possible, call Race HQ. Number 5, attract the attention of fellow runners shouting or using your whistle. Choice of footwear, it is a trail event. There are some good sections of tarmac on the route, but we really would recommend a hybrid or trail shoe for this time of the year for the Chester Ultra. So guys, that really concludes what we need to say on the race brief. If you've got any questions, please feel free to email us on info@gbultras.com and myself or the team will come back to you as soon as we can. Other than that, have a great race. Thanks for all the support and we'll look forward to seeing you there.